Michael, thank you so much for having me on set.
That's great. You're great having me on set. Both of you.
Yeah, let's hope my premiere doesn't happen before yours. So people in our community are so excited about your return to television. We've just been blown away by the response to our Think Able campaign at the foundation. 2,000 people have signed up to host house parties in the United States and Canada for your return to television, which means thousands of people will be gathered together. How does that make you feel?
It's great. I mean, I love being part of this community, and I love that it means something to people when I do stuff like this, and it's just a privilege, and I love that people out there partying, and my people in Canada and all around the country. It's just great.
So returning to full-time acting was a big decision, obviously, but so was starting a research foundation more than 10 years ago. And you've been quoted as saying a phrase, "We only can't if we don't."
Right.
Can you say a little bit more about what that means to you?
Well, my response to people when they asked me why I was doing the show, and it was the same thing when I started the foundation. They said, "Why are you starting this foundation? We can't solve this problem. It's too complicated." And I said, "Why can't we?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we?" And then when the foundation got going and is doing well and doing terrific work and it has engaged the community, which is what I hoped it would do, I thought I put my eyes towards resuming my career and doing some acting again. And again, it was the same thing as why can't I?
Yeah.
Well, who says I can't? And then it just occurred to me that you only can't if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know long range what this means. I just go into life. We have been assured of one thing. We in this community is that for the short term future anyway, we're gonna have Parkinson's. We wake up every day and have Parkinson's.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much else to do. I mean, there's so much we can let that take up the space it takes up, but no more.
Mm-hmm.
And claim the rest of our lives back again, or reclaim them, or continue to claim them, and just do the things we want to do, and we only can't if we don't.
And I think that message has really resonated, particularly with the Parkinson's community. I was on set a few weeks ago when you were actually filming episode 6, and I asked you how you were feeling. I mean, television production can be a grueling schedule, and you said that you were feeling stronger every day.
Yeah.
Do you still feel that way, and do you think it's just a balance of how you're
Well, it's
doing?
exhausting, and I know that there's people out there that the thing about Parkinson's is we all have our own version, and we all have our own. No two of us are alike, so that's both frustrating and encouraging because we're focused on our own experience and trying to figure out how to deal with it. But there are some days that are tough, but for the most part, it's a muscle that I hadn't been working, and coming back and working and doing the job, I've become strong in areas that I forgot that I was strong in,
Mm-hmm.
and so as a whole, it's been a really energizing experience.
That's great. I mean, the show itself is not about Parkinson's disease, but
No.
your character, Mike Henry, has PD. So how do you sort of balance those that worry about a disease is not being taken seriously via a sitcom?
Well, the thing is about the show is it's loosely based on my experience, and so my experience is that I look for the positive in life, and I look for what makes me laugh. I mean, I don't recognize dramatic things initially. I go right past them and go to what's funny about it. There's a saying, tragedy plus time equals comedy. My line is very short. I mean, I go right from disaster to what's funny about it. But we're not making fun of Parkinson's. We're not making fun of me with Parkinson's. It's just a guy who has Parkinson's, and I think that's important for us as a community to be a part of the community and not hold ourselves separate and say we have these sensitivities, we have these lines you can't cross, we have these things you can't say in polite company. I mean, this is our life. This is what we're living in, and the more I feel that the more people see it and accept it and move on, the better. I mean, the conversation doesn't stop with I have Parkinson's. I have Parkinson's maybe at the beginning of the conversation, but then there's an I do this and I do that and I care about this and this person's in my life and this is how I feel about things apart from Parkinson's, and so that's what we do in the show. The first episode that you're going to see tonight is we call it premise pilot. So it tells you the premise, and the premise is this guy has quit work as a newscaster because he had Parkinson's, realizes that his life is not, he spent time with his family, but they're all moving on, and so he wants to find something that involves him again and excites him. So he decides after some problem to go back to work, and it's an issue that he has Parkinson's, and there's things he has to deal with, but essentially it's about the guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of, especially in social media, just a response from the community and people who have come to us because they see you going back on television. It's just hugely inspirational to them, and it gives them the motivation just to live their everyday lives.
Well, it's been said that it's audacious that I'm doing this, and it is kind of audacious in a sense, but it shouldn't be. I mean, people with I read a thing when I was writing my book that someone had an actor who had a disability, had a leg amputated, said that it tended to be when there's disabled people on television, they tend to play soft piano music in the background and do it in slow motion, and we don't need soft piano music in the background when we live our lives. We can have whatever music we want. We can dance to our own music.
And I know that obviously your wife Tracy has been a huge support to you, so wanted to talk a little bit about her. We at the foundation we're lucky to know her well because she serves on our board, and actually for the premiere party hosts tonight she provided recipes for their parties, which is great. But tell me a little bit about how much your television wife is sort of based on Tracy, and does she have a lot of input into any of the Fox Pollen family fodder that makes it onto the show?
Yeah, Tracy's obviously a huge part of my life, and it's very hard to communicate what she represents to me. She wouldn't characterize herself as a caregiver in the traditional sense. She just, there's a scene in the pilot, a lot of people have seen it, where I'm serving eggs to my family, my hand is tremoring, and she says, enough with personal victories, eat now. That's very Tracy. I mean, what Tracy's done for me is, she hasn't projected whatever her feelings are about what I'm going through. Mm-hmm. She's certainly concerned, and she's there for me, and she's involved in everything I'm involved in. But she doesn't project her worry onto me. She doesn't project the experience she thinks I'm having onto me. She lets me just have the experience I'm having. And I think that's really important. I think that there are people in our lives that love us, and we love them, and they want to do for us. But it's important that we don't let anyone write the script for us, that we live the life that we want to live, and we are grateful for the help and the hand when we need it, and certainly in the Parkinson's community, support goes much deeper than that, and some people are really profoundly challenged and need extra help. But when I am in my life, Tracy is she's just an inspiration because she just lets life go on. Mm-hmm. And I can't explain it better than that.
It's nice we know your family, your kids, some of their stories have made it onto, into some of the storylines in the show.
Yeah, the name's been changed to protect the innocent.
Yeah, and but what's nice is that we also get to know them at the foundation because they're all Team Fox members. They raise money through Team Fox, and I know that your youngest son on the show, Jack Gore, who plays Graham, he also has joined Team Fox and has his own unique fundraising idea.
Jack is a great kid, and he's really funny in the show. We're doing this before the show, right?
Yes, it's before the show.
Yeah, you'll love Jack. He's just a pisser, and he it's funny about him. He looks like me at that age. I have pictures of me at that age, and we look exactly the same. But that beside the point. He started a swear jar because television sets are notorious for people being loose with language, and you forget that you have an 8-year-old kid around. Mm-hmm. So every now and then someone lets something fly, and he comes out with the tip jar, with the swear jar, and I think he's collected $75 for.
Yeah, he had a decent amount of money in there when I saw it, so that's great.
So he's a blossoming Team Fox member. So.
Mm-hmm. But what does it mean to you though to see that sort of wherever you go in the various communities that you're in, you inspire people to take action?
Well, people inspire me. I mean, I don't know what things have been attributed to me and inferred that I'm doing something more than I'm doing. I'm just trying to make a difference in the way that I can, and using the privileges that I've been blessed with, But my strength to keep doing it comes from the people that I meet and people in the Parkinson's community and their families and other people outside of the Parkinson's community who just respond to a fight joined and a mission defined and the community organized to change things for themselves.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you. Good luck.
Thank you. And just a last message to our party hosts.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good time tonight. Enjoy the second show, by the way. It's going to air tonight. I don't know if it will in Canada, but in the States, it'll be 2 shows. And the second episode is with Tracy. She plays a sexy neighbor who flirts with Mike and causes problems. But it's great, and she's great. And enjoy her and enjoy the show. And thank you so much.